Look at you, extra whipped cream. Have a look at these flying poopies. It is very fitting for the coin EOS. What happened to EOS? It was named the Ethereum killer. It did the world's biggest ICO at $4 billion raise. And yes, it was absolutely gargantuan. They paid a little fine to the SEC. They delivered nothing, friends, from the very top, unfortunately. Look at its descent into hell. You were holding this for 2,000 days. You got nowhere. And what's even worse is they raised 140,000 Bitcoin, which just sat there for 6 years. They are absolute subhuman filth, these people. I can't believe the level of grifting they did. They got grifted from everywhere. It was an inside job. It is very disgusting what happened. The EOS community, very unfortunate. They got rugged. We have so many lessons to learn here. Of course, it's EOS. Like, who cares about EOS? I want you to know, baby dolls, every single coin has some sort of inflation reward. Somebody is dumping. The game of investing, the game of crypto, and yes, it is a game. Our game rules is that we don't know the future, but we are just trying to guess. We're trying to speculate. We're trying to predict who is going to fulfill the promise. Who's going to try to fulfill what they say they're going to do. We can't guarantee anything. EOS looked like they would. They had a lot of transactions, a lot of volume at the time relative to Ethereum back in 2017, 2018. Everybody thought it was going to be good runway. And then it all amounted to nothing. We have so much to learn from these friends because look at this. They got grifted from so many areas. Look at this, a bullish exchange, which was valued at $9 billion even before the launch and run on a private EOS fork. So this is where they spent some of their funds. Look at this. They also bought 9.3% of Silvergate Bank. Do you remember those? They got absolutely pooped in 2022. They went absolutely nowhere. Look at this third point here. They spent $150 million building Voice social media. So it's just a social media. It's called Yay Voice. No one cared. We are here to keep our back straight, keep our elbows pointy, and we're here to respect that no one really cares about this social media. I know we need it around, but we're not too excited about it anymore. We're just talking to each other, public forums. The exciting part of social media, that's an old narrative, man. But hey, they spent money on it anyway, $150 million. And this was the worst part. They switched to an NFT marketplace. Oh, man, I am just hitting my hand. My hand is hitting my skull. And there's nothing but a peanut inside. It's just rolling around. It's so hollow. And I can tell you right now the disappointment I have because so many meme coins and communities, you just don't know what they're doing, pivoted to an NFT marketplace. They basically bought into the hype of the previous narrative, which tells me they did not really believe what they were doing in the first place. They did not have any conviction. So Block One was a company behind that. Block One actually paid $30 million for the voice domain name. And funny enough, they bought it from Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. Wow, what a purchase. You know, it's funny, Michael Saylor got early to something for once because Michael Saylor is buying Roger Ver's 30,000 next bag. And look, he was able to dump on the EOS people as well, which is unfortunate because all their money came from we, the people. And it's sad here. We even have a thread here about detailing all these disgusting things that happen. Remember, this is from a time in 2018, so I want you to know that we are not immune to these. So yes, we do see these disgusting charts going down. And of course, you really want to see the real damage. You look at EOS BTC, of course, down only from everything when they launch. Oh, wow, this is April 2019. This is the top, like, bang, you are finished minus 99%. It is such a it's so disgusting, friends. It hurts to see this. But this is unfortunately the fate of most coins, down minus 99% against Bitcoin. You know, you might be looking at some of your coins and go, oh, ours went minus 99% too, minus 95%. Yes, there are no guarantees. You can't observe a price collapse and say it's bad, but you also can't observe a price pump and say it's good. You are just measuring people's emotions. So if a green candle occurs, you have to be unbiased. You have to sit on the fence and just say, people got really excited. And then people stopped getting excited. That's it. Our guess is to try to predict, will people get excited again? That's all we're doing. Once you start to look at it in terms of emotions, then you truly have a grasp on markets, because that's all we're trading, emotions. This is why highest level investors, they will always say markets are just emotions. This is what they actually mean by it. They don't mean this, don't look at fundamentals or don't look at indicators. They don't mean that. They just mean don't ever drink the Kool-Aid. Just because something went up doesn't mean it's good or bad. Just because something went down doesn't mean it's good or bad. I know it's crazy, but this is how you have to think about it. It just means, like, if something goes up, people are excited today. If something goes down, people aren't excited anymore. People feel bad about this. Our job is to try figure out, will it ever return? When you have stories like this, EOS, it really makes you wonder, makes you think, what happened and how do we get to this place? And just because when you give them 140,000 Bitcoin, give them 140,000 BTC, right? Why even work? That's the question. That's the hard part. And you know, this is sad because you're going to think about many centralized success stories where they did get funding and it did work out, but it's survivorship bias. For every one unicorn that we identified, there are so many others that didn't make it simply because we gave the community and the founders and people in charge, you gave them too much money. This is the very harsh reality, but you have to look at it, man. You have to look right through it. You have to remain a friend. You have to remain a pointy elbow baby doll. You got to drink your chocolate, high protein shake at all times. If you forget this, you will buy into the wrong narratives at the wrong time. Yes, of course, there were certain sacrifices made at the tops of markets. Look what happens. You got to remember this. Not for now, because the emotions are gone. We got to remember this for deep 2025, for deep 2024. This is when we got to remember them. If you give them too much money now, what happens? What happens is their rate of succeeding at their goals suddenly drops, because in the real world, you have to do effort first and then you get the money. But what happens if you just give them the money part? Do they need to work backwards? It's a very tough game in here. This is why in crypto, it's extremely important to understand the incentives. Who has the incentives, why and where? And yes, we have to turn up difficulty as well, because every single person has an incentive to tell you the things that you want to hear. Everyone. They want to tell you decentralization. They want to tell you we are still growing. They want to tell you you're still early. Every single person says it. But there only are a few unicorns. That's the sad reality about it. So EOS raised $4.2 billion. You got to remember this, because a lot of people, they're going to completely disregard this in the next bull market, and they're going to start thinking about how this time is different, okay? So the marketing genius behind the EOS sale was Block One. It was led by some dude. And then Block One said they'd use the money to build tools, and that would speed the adoption of the EOS technology. So if you saw this $4 billion, you would think, wow, we are going to go lightning fast speed. They did nothing since day one, full of controversy. The SEC fined them, and then they took a back step, or they were going to take one in the whole time. They're going to take one they're probably planning it from the start. Okay, so even look at this research paper. A research paper claimed that Block One pumped the EOS price and created FOMO amongst investors to buy the ICO token. This type of behavior, you can't be guaranteed that it's something necessarily bad, because XRP did something similar. XRP were telling the market makers to slug up their price during XRP's big run. So during 2017, XRP, they were telling the market makers, hey, smash it up every time. So yeah, you might say XRP is a poopy now. Yes, but at the time, there's a lot of money to be made because it was going up. So this is one of the important times where you just have to try to remain as unbiased as possible and think about your time frame when doing it. If you can't see the future, then don't even participate, because you need to be able to hold for the future. If you can't really feel and see that this thing's going to grow, then it's really important to take a step back and understand you could have easily been fooled by this. So they use recycled ETH to do it and pump up the price, just to create some sort of fake demand looking system. But hey, then they ended up delivering nothing. Look at this. This dude, Poopy Head, promised to invest $1 billion from the ICO to grow the blockchain and foster startups. None of this happened. Here's the video. Absolutely none of it. EOS VC program said they're going to deploy $1 billion. Nothing. All lies. Okay, it's absolutely garbage that this all happened. These people say, they walk around, they're like, yeah, look at me, I'm a pencil neck with a black suit. These people scammed everyone. SCAM, scam. Don't ever forget these. I wasn't even participating in this. I was not even around. But I'm here to make a video for you, friends. Because if I don't put this in front of your face, who else is going to? No one. What they're going to do is they're going to put new things in front of your face. Most of the time, these people have already better entries than me and you. They're going to tell you this is the new second coming. This is the great. These fluffy slippers you have, throw them out. These ones are brown and crumpled. But yeah, they're going to be good for a while. No, they're not. Don't trust the brown, crumpled slippers. And here we have just more of this absolute disgusting bad decisions. This is why when you're a baby doll, baby cake, you got to understand we can't avoid centralization. But we have to remember the decisions made by the guy or girl on top, they are the only signals you have as to the direction of where it's going. It's their decisions. You got to think, okay, how do they handle themselves in public? Do they remain strong? Do they make wise decisions? Are they able to separate themselves from the price discussion when it goes down? All of these things. And yes, I am using different metrics, friends, because yes, even though this price goes down, you'll see and you'll hear on my videos, thank you for like, subscribing, pressing the belly button and all, you'll hear and see me say different strange things to you about how I evaluate founders. I like them lying, which is, it gets people upset. Like, what? No, yes, all marketing is lying. You got to overpromise. You got to get people in. You got to show the supply side that there's demand coming in. And to do that, you got to convince the demand side that all their wildest dreams are coming in. This is literally basic marketing 101. When it comes in, then you have to evaluate the founder. How much do they really believe? Do they drink their own Kool-Aid? That's how high it can go. If they never drink their own Kool-Aid, it can never go to nuclear heights. You only have these rogue, random circumstances like Doge, where the founder kind of leaves. But then you have Elon coming in, so he even doubled down. He even doubled down in the original Doge founder. So you can see how all of these line up, friends. When you see pivots, you have to think twice. So, for example, EOS, they spent $150 million to build voice that no one uses, and then they close it down and just open an NFT marketplace. Go, yes, come buy and sell your JPEGs, friends. So when we see this story of EOS, I want you to remember, this is not the first, this is not the last. There will be more to come. Even though during the moments of euphoria, everybody said this was absolutely amazing, we're going to remember now, in the next bull market, wherever it leads us, when people are taking off their pants, eating jelly beans, and indulging in all those crazy wild things, we're going to remember that when people are euphoric, they are pricing in the future. And it doesn't matter whether your coin went a 2x, 5x, or even 10x. Even though you thought it was going to do 100, if it's only up a 10x, but people are dancing naked already out in the streets, you got to think twice. Because people are now giving you a chance to get out for the future. Yeah, you thought they were going to buy it up higher, but if they didn't, hey, that's not the market's fault. That's not anybody's fault. It just is. It's the way of the universe. It's not your fault either. It happened the way it did. So we're going to have to always remember these scenarios of EOS. Just because they had a lot of money, they were the talk of the town, they had everything going for them. You saw that dude at pencil neck wearing a black skiv. He's like, yes, I'm going to change the future. No, you're not. No, they are not. We're going to make it, friends. But we're never going to forget the lessons of the past because they're going to guide us to the future. And the future is bright for you and me because we have a whole lot of friendship coming. Like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. Tell mom and dad that you love and appreciate them.